evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Margaret, and I'm the Group Financial Controller of Amara Holdings Limited. Joining me today is our CEO, Albert Yeo, Management Accounting Manager, Cian, and our IR contact person, Dolores. To make sure everyone has a better understanding of Amara, we'll be going through our business overview, portfolio, operations and financial review, market outlook, and growth strategies. Without further ado, let's move to our business overview. Who are we and what do we do? Amara is a homegrown integrated lifestyle group principally engaged in three business areas, namely hotel investment and management, property investment and development, specialty restaurants, and food business. A little bit about our branding. We are listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange since 1997, and our corporate brand is Amara Holdings Limited. Our master hospitality brand is known as Amara Hotels and Resorts, and under this brand we have three products: Amara Signature, Amara Hotels, and Amara Sanctuary. Amara Signature presents a luxury Asian city hotel located in prominent city locations, offering state-of-the-art facilities amidst contemporary architecture. Amara Hotels are our Asian city hotels located in convenient city locations. And lastly, Amara Sanctuary are our Asian luxury resort hotels located in exotic locations. We do have standalone F&B brands, namely Silk Road and Tamim Restaurants. Okay, a little bit about our business portfolio. Under our hotel investment and management segment, we have our flagship hotel in Tanjong Pagar, and we have commenced operations since 1986. I'm sure most of you have seen our transformation over the years. We are constantly refreshing and bringing in new consumer trends so as to keep ahead of the competition. We are also pleased to share that we have attained Halal certification, which allow us to expand and increase our revenue streams from the Malay weddings, MICE activities segment. We are also pleased to share that we were conferred the Singapore Productivity Awards in 2016 for the hotel segment. Now this is testament to our productivity enhancements and our cost management initiatives. We aim to bring such initiatives across to all our hotels. Amara Sanctuary is our resort hotel nestled in Sentosa, and we have recently refurbished it and enhanced its MICE infrastructure, so it has a very refreshing look now amidst the colonial architecture. We are also very honored to be made the permanent base by Deloitte University Asia Pacific, which is the first in Asia Pacific for Deloitte's employees. And this further augments our position as a MICE destination, and not forgetting that we are also choice destinations for wedding couples. Amara Bangkok is another product that we have, and it presents our maiden foray into the land of smiles. It is located in a very rich and vibrant part of the city, and with active yield management, we were able to grow our RevPAR by 3 times within a span of 3 years. So we are very excited with this product, and we are constantly monitoring our rates in this yield management exercise. Our first signature product, located in Shanghai, and which is slated to open the later half of this year. It comprises a mixed development of a 343-room hotel, a retail center, and a Grade A office building. The team is working very hard in its pre-opening now, and we are expected to benefit from its excellent location within the city center, as well as Shanghai's renowned status as Asia's leading business and financial center. Element and Element on Trust Street presents our product offerings that complements our hotel. It is very vibrant, and you can come chill with us during the evenings along Trust Street. For property investment and development, we have our 100M, which is adjacent to our hotel in Tanjong Pagar. And some of our anchor tenants include Fitness First, FairPrice Finest, Rain Traders, and our latest is Idada Kimasu, which joined us last December. Occupying 14,000 square feet on level 3 of our mall, it presents 7 unique dining concepts in the Japanese cuisine, and it adds a vibrant buzz to our mall. We are constantly curating and refreshing our tenant mix so as to bring in unique tenants in dining, retail, and lifestyle. Please drop by and visit us in the foreseeable future because we have a lineup of new and exciting tenants joining us. A little bit about our development projects under our property investment and development segment, City Life at Tampines. It is our first luxury hotel-inspired EC, and it was launched to overwhelming response. It was fully sold very soon thereafter. Killiney 118, another of our premium product that was fully sold. M5, which is a freehold residential development currently under construction, located along 5 Jalan Mutiara. We still have units available, so if you are interested, do let us know. And upcoming launches in Newton Road and Bedok Avenue. Newton Road is a freehold condo development comprising 56 units. We are looking at launching it later part of this year. And Bedok Avenue comprising 2 pairs of 3-story semi-D houses, which we are hoping to either launch later part of this year or next year. Specialty restaurants, which is our standalone F&B brands that I touched on earlier. Tamin Restaurant offers unique, authentic Thai cuisine. And Silk Road Restaurant, featuring provincial Chinese cuisines that stretch along the historical Silk Road in China. Both of these restaurants are located in level 2 of our Amara Singapore Hotel. Very quickly on our operations and financial review. On the revenue table, our first Q 2017 revenue is a bit lower than 2016, and this is mainly due to lower occupancy coming from our retail mall in 100M. And for net profit, you will see that in the first Q 2016, there is a huge profit of 28.5 million compared to first Q 2017. That represents the share of results in our EC, which is a one-off gain. And if we exclude that, amounting to about 27.8 million, our net profit for first Q 2017 is actually higher. Now for revenue by business segments, as you can see, hotel investment and management forms the bulk of our revenue stream at 76.3%, followed by property investment and development, contributing 20.7%, and the least being specialty restaurants at 3%. I'm not sure whether you all are familiar with RevPAR. RevPAR is actually a function of an average rental room rate and average occupancy rate. Now, as you can see, for Amara Singapore and Amara Sanctuary, the RevPAR for 2016 is a tad lower compared to 2015. Now, this is an industry norm because of the increase in room supply industry-wide. So, although we managed to maintain our occupancies, our rates were compressed, just like everyone else in the market. So, that leads to a lower RevPAR. On the other hand, for Amara Bangkok, earlier on I mentioned that we managed to grow the RevPAR through active yield management. So as you can see, the RevPAR grew 3 times within a span of 1 year. And we are very happy with the results, and we'll continue to yield manage our rates for that hotel. Some ratios on the income statement and balance sheet. Now for the market outlook, for Bangkok, for 2017, the Tourism Authority of Thailand has set a target of 34.1 million international visitors and some 1.81 trillion baht in international tourism receipts, representing a 10% year-on-year increase. Bangkok is well poised to benefit from the emergence of new destinations as a regional stopover. For Shanghai, the China National Tourism Administration remains highly optimistic of the country's tourism industry, estimating a 20% year-on-year increase in direct investment for 2017. For Singapore, STB had forecast international arrivals to grow between 0% and 2% in 2017, and tourism receipts to increase between 1% and 4%. Although the hospitality outlook will face headwinds due to economic and geopolitical uncertainties, Singapore remains one of Asia's top destinations for leisure and business. Now for the Singapore residential market outlook. I'm sure everyone has read in the news recently that there were some en bloc deals that had been concluded and some are brewing in the process. In our opinion, the property market is very buoyant. For Amara, we will continue to prudently seek opportunities to replenish our land bank while continuing to market our unsold units. On the commercial side, the office and retail prices continue to face headwinds from oncoming supply and completion of new developments. We are, however, quite fortunate because for our 100M office tower, our rates did not go down, but instead it went up. Now for our growth strategies. We adopt a multi-pronged approach. We will continue to strengthen our core competencies and build our brand equity with a key focus on gateway cities. We will continue to innovate to bring about greater productivity and build diversity in business portfolio to enjoy synergies across our business segment. And we will continue to identify good partners with whom to forge strategic alliances with. With that, I've come to the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time. Is there any Q&A? Is there any questions so that my CEO can come and answer it? No questions?
Oh, sorry, there's one.
you just flash ratios slide again?
Which one, the income statement or the balance sheet?
Any questions from the crowd, from the audience? Sorry.
Hi, I just want to check the net asset value per share, right? Is it based on, what I understand is you have some properties that are classified under investment, some other are under development, and maybe some, not sure what it is. So, are they all at current market value, or are they at historical cost to derive your net asset value per share?
Okay, our hotels are considered property, plant and equipment, which is a fixed asset. We don't value our fixed assets, so they are carried at historical cost, and they are being depreciated. But for our properties in the investment property segment, which is the 100M that we showed, which is the office and the retail mall, and subsequently in Shanghai, where we have a mixed development, again you see the office and the retail mall. Now those are considered investment properties, and those, according to the accounting standards, will have to be carried at market value. So to answer your question, the assets is a mixture depending on the classification. So our hotels, the assets are at cost, and the office and retail malls are at market valuation.
So are your okay? So what I understand from what you say is that those like with integrated one or malls will be at fair value, current value. Those that are hotels one will be at cost. So do you, if opportunities arise, are you open to selling away your hotels?
We can sell everything except our flagship Amara Hotel in Tanjong Pagar. This, right, CEO?
Okay.
Any other questions?
You're right. Our hotels are all stated at cost. So, to answer your question, that net asset value there is just a compliance number. The revalue NAV is not reflected that you own something. So, like I think going forward, as we build, you saw what we're building is really we have a skill set that I think which is quite unique to Amara, and probably very rarely you see Singaporean hoteliers take passion in the work. We do come up with business models, designs that new millennials, that's really our target customers. And they are very highly mobile and in a way very unique. A lot of customers that we deal with and successfully grow. But I think we are tapping this tier of market, which is very, so in 1 year in Bangkok, 1 year plus of trading, 1 year's trading, we did exceptionally well. We turned around and made accounting profit, which is what, it's quite amazing. So to answer your question, and also reflecting on what Margaret said, if we can build our assets fast enough, and trade well, there's no we are not short of suitors. We have been approached many times to people proposition to buy our assets. But Tanjong Pagar is our flagship, and it's got a great development potential because the plot ratio down there is only 6.4, whereas Wako Land's Tanjong Pagar Tower, Tanjong Pagar Center, it has a plot ratio of 10, so we're close by. I'm sure not in the near future. I'm sure that somewhere down the road, when the whole port development, Tanjong Pagar Port, kicks in, the whole area's plot ratio will be reviewed, and that's where we will have to take opportunity and redevelop Tanjong Pagar. So we have to build our base assets so that when that time comes, we still can show profits every year while that undergoes new development.
You have one question. So looks like recently the trend and ETF. What has this been highlighted? Not so much being emphasized in this Amara stock, because we are in the stock trading. So I'd like to know, can you enlighten us investors on this ETF? If you are much more interested in developing into an ETF, so that's with portfolio fund managers.
Well, I'm a very traditional developer. I focus on what I do best, and we will continue to develop what we do best. We're building at a great pace. We're going probably on our radar another 4 hotels within the next 3 years, maybe. So we can, along the way, monetize some of these assets. But
This trend is really catching up the trend of ETF. With so many bankers, managers we have found, they have actually monitor. This is actually a very fast-paced trend. With 3 years, maybe could this be actually super important to your strategy?
maybe I'll give you a card. Come to my office. Please educate me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Teo and Margaret. Okay.